Less than 1 week till March as the defending national champs, number 6 South Carolina Gamecocks, come to Nashville, eyeing a late February SEC road win. They take on the Vanderbilt Commodores here on Senior Day, trying to peak at the right time. As we take a look at the SEC standings heading into this second to last weekend of play, South Carolina tied at the top with Texas, but because the Longhorns won that game in Austin for South Carolina, they have the tiebreaker for the 1 seed as of now. Vanderbilt, Drew Maddox, sits in 9th. They would play in day 1 of the SEC tournament if the season ended today.
Yeah, this is a big game. I mean, both of these teams in need of a win. You got one competing for that top slot, and Vanderbilt obviously not only for their SEC tournament seeding, but for their NCAA tournament resume as well.
Hi everybody, Alex School, Drew Maddox. Really appreciate you all joining us today. Partner, should be a really fun one between these two.
No better place to be than on a Sunday afternoon in Memorial Gym with the top-ranked South Carolina Gamecocks in town.
Taking a look at some of these key players. First for the Gamecocks, the sophomore homegrown out of Columbia, it's Malaysia Fulwiley.
Malaysia Fulwiley has been a walking highlight for 2 years. You can see just the other night, 15 points. She's elevated her play the last 5 games, 13 points, 2 assists. She's playing her best basketball on the season.
What more could we say about the fabulous freshman out of Somerset, New Jersey, Michaela Blake? She's done it all this season for the Doors.
Incredible. 23.4 points per game, had 34 points against Oklahoma this past week. That was her 5th 30-point game on the season. She's the only freshman in all of Division I that is averaging over 20 points per game. You can see leads the SEC at 28 points. Look at what she's done the last 7 games. It goes on and on and on. Incredible what she is doing this season.
She will start on the bench today, but don't worry, Doors fans. Shea Ralph making sure the 5 seniors get to start today. Really, I should say 4, because Sasha Washington, of course, out all season with an injury. Our 3 officials today, Melissa Barlow, Fatu Sissoko Stevens, and Teresa Stuck. Tip between Pierre and Chloe Kitts. We're underway. Join us for 40 here inside Memorial in Nashville on the SEC Network. You see Te-Hina Pow Sr. out of Oceanside, California, one of the best guards in the country. And right away, that was stripped away by Oliver, then off the hands of Sanaya Fagan, senior out of Ellenwood, Georgia. Shea Ralph's squad, they force a lot of turnovers. You may see a ton today. You take a look at the starting 5. Again, no Michaela Blake. She'll check in almost immediately. But you see Leilani Kapanis, Jordan Oliver, Ayana Moore. They're trying to get her going today. And, of course, Camille Pierre, the other piece to the puzzle for the Doors, averaging over 20 points per game. Here is Pierre working on Fagan. Little turnaround. And that might have been partially altered that time by the 6'3" senior. Taking a look at the starting 5 under head coach Don Staley in her 17th season in Columbia. Te-Hina Pow, the senior. She's trying to get going here today as well. Only 4 points in the win over Arkansas, and that's going to be our first whistle of the day. That's a foul on the junior Chloe Kitts.
Artie, a couple of things. I know you were covering a lot of information right there, but first of all, Vanderbilt averages the forcing of 21 turnovers. First possession, great job there. South Carolina, one of the best shot block teams in all of basketball at 6 blocks per game. We saw that on possession 1, and then Vanderbilt. This is going to be a real part to the narrative of this game. Can they keep the Gamecocks off the glass? Great job in blocking out to draw that over the back foul.
Jordan Oliver, really sweet spin move, left it short. Here's Pow. Gamecocks love to push. It was stripped away again. Last touch by Oliver, they'll say. Doors fans thought it was off the knee of Pow, but it will stay with the Gamecocks. Plenty of time to shoot 24 on the shot clock. There is Don Staley in her 17th season, 3-time national champ, 2017, 2022, defending national champs in 2024. And she was fired up about this one today. And there is Pow. Good start for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, nice little out-of-bounds play there to get Pow. Already her 2nd shot attempt. When she gets going and starts making perimeter jump shots, this South Carolina team becomes very multi-dimensional.
Yeah, Pow only 5 shot attempts in that blowout win of Arkansas, 95-55 on Thursday, as Pierre left it short. Here is Bree Hall, senior out of Dayton, Ohio. Pow. Into Chloe Kitts. Kitts got trapped. Good find as Pow made the cut, puts it in. Right now it's Te-Hina Pow 4, Vanderbilt 0.
Yeah, it was two great cuts. First of all, the slip cut by Kitts set up the next cut that allowed Pow that nice shot there around the rim.
The looks so far for the Commodores have been really good. Just not getting the basket to go as Jane Waba checks out, and there is Michaela Blakes checking in. You see Shea Ralph, what a difference she's brought here to Nashville, now in her 4th season at the helm. Made the NCAA tournament last year for the first time in a decade, and right now projected as a 7th seed, should be comfortably in.
She's just done an incredible job. We've said it this entire season. What she's done in 4 short years here to bring a winning culture and a winning mindset has been unprecedented. Really cool to see. But Pow off to an incredible start. Her 7th point after that 3-point make.
Again, Pow had only 4 points in that win against Arkansas, and she'll tell you she wants the W at the end of the day, but just 1 of 5 shooting. Much better start. She's on fire. Again, she leads the door 7-0 all by herself. Here's Leilani Kapanis for 3. Couldn't get it to go. Pierre and Pow battling for the rebound. Pierre took it away from Fagan.
Great hustle.
Here's Blakes, bombs away. It's good! Michaela Blakes, her first shot attempt from downtown. That's what she's been doing all season long.
That was all made because of the hustle of Pierre to go chase that loose ball down to create that 3-point make for Blakes.
Missed trade that time by Hall. Rebound to Ayanna Moore. And thrown away. Pierre's got to try and hustle for it here. You don't want Pow to pick it up, and a smart play there by Blakes to let it go, so she forces an inbound.
Yeah, looking for more to get going here. Really need, not only this game, but the next 2 remaining regular season games into the tournament. Need Ayanna Moore. That production from the perimeter is going to be crucial for this team.
You can see Blake's inside, and that's going to be another turnover for the Gamecocks. That is their 2nd turnover of the game.
You know, Alex, that was a great job by Michaela Blakes because they had a switch there on the underneath out of bounds play, and it found Blakes matched up against Kitts, had a size disadvantage, but did a great job with some physicality to create that turnover.
Pow tried to jump the route. Kapanis left it short, though. Raven Johnson Jr. out of Atlanta, so swifty. Fagan. Knew Hall was over there. Good catch by Hall. Driving the baseline. Hall tried to lay it in. Could not. Fagan got the offensive board. She was fouled, and she's headed to the line for 2. And that foul is against Ayanna Moore, the senior out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Her first. That is the team's first.
I love well-coached basketball, and Coach Staley, nobody better, obviously, in the game. But right there was a subtle point, Alex, and watching that baseline drive and the skip to the corner, knowing that Bree Hall was there in the corner ready to receive that pass, that is rehearsed, that is practiced, and that is an understanding of basketball principles for the Gamecocks to create that foul.
Sanaya Fagan, 79% free throw shooter. Katrina McLean, award watch list, right? That goes to the top power forward in the sport. So a good honor for her. Of course, she's won 2 national championships, not just one back in 2022 as well, has waited patiently for her moment. We'll talk a little bit more about her as this game goes along, and that was Pierre away from the ball who got bumped. That is going to be a foul on Fagan, and for Fagan, that is her first, team second.
See what Vanderbilt does here. This is a crucial possession. 9-3. Vanderbilt 1 of 7 from the field here early in this game. Gotten some good looks. Really in need of a basket on this possession.
There is Blakes yet again right now. Michaela Blakes has all 5 for the Commodores.
Great screen, the screener action to get that ball in front of the inbound pass for Blakes to get that nice 15-foot jump shot.
Joyce Edwards, freshman out of Camden, South Carolina, and of course Malaysia Fulwiley, who we highlighted in our open, the sophomore homegrown out of Columbia. Both check in for the first time for Don Staley's squad, and that's going to be an offensive foul called on Chloe Kitts. That's going to be her 2nd foul, team's 3rd, with 5:32 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, really nice job by Pierre to wall up, not to foul, not to break verticality. It's an interesting call there. I'm not sure exactly where Kitts got that offensive foul, but nevertheless, it's her second foul. She'll have to exit here early in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a big call, right? That's a key player that's going to have to sit for at least the rest of this quarter. You never know, could be the rest of the first half. Of course, a lot of depth for this South Carolina Gamecocks squad. In terms of bench points per game, Drew, they average 42 points per game. That's the most in the country out of their bench, as Pierre missed the bunny. And that's a rebound to Miriam Dowda, the junior out of Bentonville, Arkansas. Check it in for the first time.
And that's because your two leading scorer, Edwards and Fulwiley, both come in off the bench.
And look at that connection between Fulwiley and Edwards, right on cue, partner. That's the first two of the game for Edwards.
Edwards, just an acclaimed, incredibly celebrated high school career.
Vanderbilt really struggling shooting it right now. They are 2 for 10 from the floor. Blake's is 2 for 2. The rest of the team is 0 for 8. The Gamecocks, number 6 team in the country. They lead by 6 here with 4:54 to go on the SEC Network. I mean, just take a look at this place right now. Truly, there's hardly an open seat inside this building. We saw the same thing yesterday. There's a lot of good here on Vanderbilt's campus, and a lot of good in this game right now, partner. 11-5. I wanted to correct something I said earlier, play-by-play guy's mistake, and talked about how Texas had the tiebreaker because of their win the other day. Of course, they split the series this year, so it would come down to a coin flip, and that would be one of the most entertaining coin flips of all time. But wanted to make sure I corrected that and talked about it. But right now, good start for South Carolina, especially for Te-Hina Pow. Only 4 the other day. She's already got 7.
Yeah, I think when you look at what has happened in the first quarter, South Carolina been extremely efficient from the field, 4 of 7, 57%. And then obviously Vanderbilt, other than Blake's, going 2 for 2. Vanderbilt is a combined 2 for 10 because of the rest of the collective group sits at 0 of 8 here in the first quarter.
What do you want to see here on this offensive set for Vanderbilt?
I think, we saw Vanderbilt score from Blake's on the screener action. So look for Blake's or Pierre to get loose, maybe a screen and a re-screen. Nice little set there. That's beautifully done.
That's Blake's first miss of the day. Now she's 2 for 3, so 11-5 lead here for the number 6 team in the land. And a great bounce back for them after a tough loss at home to UConn. 3-ball in the corner. Short that time from Hall. Battle for the board. Scrum on the floor. And nice job by Edwards to get it to Fulwiley. Hall wants another. Battle for the rebound. And a foul is going to be called on the rebound. That's on Michaela Blake's, her first. And that's the team's second. And that's something we got to talk about today, right? Because South Carolina, they have the size in this game. I want you to talk about how do you box, if you're Michaela Blake's in that spot, you're 5'8", how do you box out somebody that's 6'3"?
Yeah, you have to try. I mean, you got to use every means possible, because when you think about this South Carolina team, always been a great rebounding team, but when you look at field goal attempts and misses, Alex, and you look at their offensive rebound, so you start to do the division mathematically, they rebound almost half of their misses, which is incredible. It's an incredible ratio to think you rebound 50% of the missed shots that hit the rim.
That's a long 2 that time from Tessa Johnson, sophomore out of Albertville, Minnesota. And then you can see the size again, another offensive rebound. That was Dowda, her first 2 of the day.
It's already 5 offensive rebounds for South Carolina.
Yeah, and they had 23 against Arkansas in that win on Thursday. Pierre looking for her first bucket, gets it. Really nice move from about 4 feet away.
I love that. Vanderbilt goes to that isolation set. We've seen it all year. The right side of the floor, Pierre so comfortable on that side. Nice little soft touch.
That could be Blake's second here, and it is. So that's 2 on Michaela Blake's here in this first quarter, and you got to believe that she's going to check out here at least for the rest of the first. We saw Kitts pick up 2 for South Carolina, and now a big second foul. How about this? Shea Ralph keeping Michaela Blake's in the ballgame.
Yeah, that's something as a coach. That's always the great debate. First half, 2 fouls. Do you take your player out of the game or do you keep your player in the game? Just this week, Alabama head coach Nate Oates talked about that, and he said, Alex, mathematically it makes no sense to take a player out with 2 fouls. You got to roll the dice and let them play, especially in a game like today.
Well, Pow, she's having a nice first quarter, huh? She's got 9. Blake's fumbled it. Maddie Green, really good three-point sniper. Couldn't get it to go there. Rebound to Pow.
A 12-4 rebound margin for South Carolina, +8 already here in the first quarter.
Ayanna Mitchell just checked in for the first time today for Shea Ralph's squad. Pow slipping, tried to use the window. Was hoping there was an offensive rebounder there, last touched by Dowda.
How good was Mitchell in the win at Auburn? I mean, just fantastic. Played a season high in minutes in that game and really impacted winning for the Commodores that particular day.
And again, they need help with their size, right? Pierre can't do it all when she's in, and Mitchell gets picked off by Dowda. South Carolina shooting 38% right now. They're 5 of 13 from the floor, 1 of 4 from downtown. Fulwiley, Edwards, mid-range game, no good. Mitchell running the floor. Blake's forced it a little bit there. It's now 3 turnovers on Vanderbilt. South Carolina's got 3 as well. Kapanis face guarding Fulwiley, and that is going to be Leilani Kapanis's first foul of the day.
And that's going to be the Commodores' 5th foul, which means the Gamecocks will be in a 2-shot bonus. Fulwiley will go to the free throw line.
So we talked about it in the open, but Malaysia Fulwiley, 15 points, 4 assists against Arkansas on Thursday. Checking in for the first time today is Sakima Walker. She's a senior out of Columbus, Ohio. Giving South Carolina some more size. Walker stands at 6'5". But going back to Fulwiley here, Drew Maddox, averaging a touch under 12 points per game. She's a 78% free throw shooter, but she's averaging 13 points per game in her last 5. And also, by the way, she's 10th in the SEC in blocks per game. And again, 5'10", just a guard, but plays defense so tough, just as good as her offensive game.
I think an understated story for this South Carolina team is how efficient they are at the free throw line as well. 76.5% as a team on the season, which is an incredible statistic of efficiency from the free throw line.
Jordan Oliver back in. Mitchell going to take a seat. South Carolina, they come in 24-3. Averaging a touch under 81 points per game. That's the 13th best in the country at 80.7. Johnson. And that's going to be a travel. It's fourth turnover for the Gamecocks.
So sorry, Alex. That was great on-the-ball defense. That turnover was created by Maddie Green. Just tremendous pressure on the ball to create that turnover.
So the Commodores, they're coming off a 101-81 loss. And how about Fulwiley with the finish after the steal?
Incredible. Just the anticipation and the athleticism to go up, get that pass in the air. Just tremendous defense.
Well, she's averaging the 8th most steals on top of the 10th most blocks in the conference at a touch under 2. As Pierre tried to use her soft touch there, left it short. That's the second time today. Pierre, with a good-looking jumper, just left it a little short. Fulwiley, crafty, all the way to the rack. And Shea Ralph has to call a timeout here with 1:12 to go in this first quarter. Number 12 taking over for South Carolina.
So good. I mean, just tremendous move. She received the basketball in that left wing after she had just gotten that pick 6 turnover layup. But just an incredible job. You saw the confidence. You saw that she was ready to go and attack the basket. Watch the use of the dribble. Between her legs, nice efficient use, nice little screen up there by Edwards. But just a tremendous move by Fulwiley. The last 4 points for the Gamecocks.
I love watching Joyce Edwards and Malaysia Fulwiley. The two-woman game between them is just super sensational. And they both check in together, right? A part of that secondary unit. And Edwards, like you said, with that clear route, that allows Fulwiley the space there. Such a crafty play. And again, Edwards just a freshman.
Both from South Carolina as well. I think it says a lot about Don Staley, this program of really wanting to recruit the best athletes in the state. Both of those players had tremendous high school careers and now continuing to do it for the Gamecocks.
And I think every coach would tell you, right, you have to win the recruiting battle in your state, as Kapanis wins on that play there. Nice catch and easy two for her.
It was a great set after the timeout. Got that cross screen diagonal for Kapanis to get that layup.
Fulwiley tray is good.
7 in a row for her now. She is heating up.
Fulwiley, a perfect 3 for 3. That was her first 3 of the game. She's up to 9 to match Pow Pow. Pierre used the window. How about that angle?
Oh, what a soft touch. We love to see Pierre on that right side of the floor. I mean, she is so good on that side from about 15-foot mark and in.
So shot clock is off here. 8 seconds left in this first quarter. Fulwiley, full of fire. Trying to find Edwards, got to heave one up at the horn and could not, so the Doors get a stand there to end the first quarter. But what a first 10 minutes it was for number 12, the player we highlighted in our open.
Look at Fulwiley here, heating up the last 7 points of the quarter. South Carolina leads here in Nashville, 24-11.
Back here inside Memorial, Alex Gould, Drew Maddox, our producer Dean McConaughey, and our entire SEC Network crew. Really appreciate you joining us here for this Sunday matinee in the SEC. Taking a look at some bracketology. Here are the projections for these schools that are projected in as of now to the field of 68. South Carolina and Texas, both a 1 seed as of now. And then Vanderbilt projected as a 7. Again, Vanderbilt should be in, but listen, you'd like to get to at least that 20-win plateau to make sure the committee knows that you're good and safe.
They're right there. I mean, I think as of obviously today, we see that they're in, but there's a lot of games left to be played. I mean, obviously today you have 2 more regular season games, 1 more here Thursday night against Texas A&M. You go back on the road for 1 more to close out the year, but Vanderbilt is in need of some wins coming down the stretch here to really punch that ticket into March Madness.
Yeah, and right now South Carolina, they are number 2 in the net. Vanderbilt number 23, so both in the top 25 in the net. That's a big metric, of course, that the committee is looking at when it's all said and done.
And South Carolina has played the hardest schedule in all of college basketball. And when you begin to break down their schedule and you see their significant wins, quad 1 wins, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, 13 games, as you see, against quad 1s. That's tied for the most in the country. And so Don Staley, and she'd tell you, listen, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. We're going to schedule tough, right? And she talked about that loss against UConn, said, hey, great learning moment for our team, right? And these young women to learn from that game. And you saw the response against Arkansas.
You see that Texas loss as well. Texas projected as a 1 seed as well. So you're talking about quality opponents.
2-woman game there. And how about Jordan Oliver? Good touch between her and Blake's there. A good give and go.
I was about to say, coming out of this quarter, look for Vanderbilt to play a little bit more zone to protect Blake's, obviously with the 2 fouls, but also to constrict around the lane a little bit more to try to make South Carolina stay on the perimeter.
Raven Johnson tried to use the window, couldn't get it. Another offensive rebound. That was Walker. There is Edwards. She misses, tries to put it back up. Wow, 3 extra opportunities there for South Carolina, and they could not convert.
Yeah, counting those 3, 8 offensive rebounds already in the first half.
Pierre couldn't get the lay-in to go, but got fouled. She'll head to the line for 2. Waiting to see who the foul is on, and they're going to give it to Raven Johnson. That is Raven Johnson's first personal, team's first here in this second quarter.
I'm sure Coach Ralph will talk about this at halftime and the staff, but Vanderbilt on the defensive end has given up 8 offensive rebounds. You've got to figure out a way to be physical in your blockouts. You've got to get a touch. You got to be physical. You got to press up against the South Carolina players to try to create some separation to go get some rebounds.
Camille Pierre, sophomore out of Phoenix, Arizona. Tell you what, she was fabulous in her freshman campaign, and how about the encore here in her second year in Nashville?
What she has been this year is remarkable. Now you look at every metric of success, she's been incredible. So consistent too, so consistent.
Just see what South Carolina, we've been talking about it, what they've done today and what they've done this season. They've been hungry on the boards. Great cross-court pass. That time by Joyce Edwards. Tessa Johnson couldn't get it. Another offensive rebound right on cue. Once again, that time it's Bree Hall.
Just relentless on the glass. And I will say that's the difficulty with the 2-3 zone, is finding those matchups to get good blockouts out of. But Vanderbilt in need of really going up and securing some rebounds.
That's going to be a foul on Maddie Green. That is her second. That is Vanderbilt's first foul of this second quarter. So Pow back in. Again, in case you're just joining us, 9 early for number 0.
Pow and Fulwiley in that first quarter combined for what, 18 points?
How about the pick here by Pierre? I know we just saw the Super Bowl a couple of weekends back, but Pierre missed the easy part of that play. And those are points you need against a team like South Carolina. Hall got trapped and shuffled her feet.
Pierre is frustrated with herself on missing that one. She did such a great job of going to get that steal, just unable to complete the play. She was running so quickly, trying to score it ahead of the defense, just came up a little bit short.
This possession, what are you looking for?
You got to go Blakes. You got to get Pierre a touch. You see Blakes with the high ball screen. Nice job there of getting to the basket. Just came up a little bit short, but it's got to be Blakes and Pierre every time the next couple of possessions.
Kapanis almost poked it away. Hall, oh, good shot fake. Got Kapanis in the air, could not convert. Blake's rebound. Doors have numbers here. 3-on-1, Maddie Green. Pow with the denial. That was 3-on-1 defensively for Pow, and then Kapanis got it back.
Great job by Vanderbilt to continue to pursue the play. Pow obviously with the incredible play. Vanderbilt continued to pursue the basketball to get that basket.
Right now, a little bit sloppy offensively here for the Gamecocks. Green and Blakes were both there. Don Staley had to get out of the way. That's going to be another Doors turnover, their 6th of the game.
You can see here, nice pass by Blakes, but look at that Pow block. Great job by Vanderbilt to continue to pursue the ball. Kapanis, the benefactor of that Fulwiley save, but great individual play by Pow to save the basket, but incredible job by Vanderbilt to continue to pursue the basketball.
All right, so 10-point game. South Carolina, I think they would tell you, haven't looked their best, but still have a double-digit lead. Pow certainly looked excellent. And for Te-Hina Pow, that is her 3rd miss of the day, now 3 of 6 from the floor.
Kitts checked back into the basketball game too with 2 fouls as well for South Carolina.
But also too defensively, Shea Ralph's squad, that's what they do. They force a lot of turnovers. Blakes, that's her 2nd triple of the day. All of a sudden back down to single digits.
And that was a beautiful set. You set it up perfectly, Alex, on the possession before, but Blakes came off that nice little pin down screen there in the middle of the floor to get that 3-point basket. She's got a guard without fouling, though. Remember, she has 2 fouls.
Blakes with 8. Kitts, by the way, she's back in with 2 fouls. Edwards and Kapanis with the tie-up, firing up the bench. We will stay here with South Carolina. They will have 7 to shoot, and there's 2 players right now, and Kitts and Bree Hall going to the other side of the floor right now.
Yeah, 7 seconds on the shot clock as well to watch that on this underneath out-of-bounds play.
Kitts right back to Pow. Pow with some space, finds Edwards, good extra pass, up and under move is good.
That was fantastic by Pow. Nice drive, and then Edwards with the patience.
And then Pow with the pick. Fulwiley, how about that?
That's how quick it can happen. Converting turnovers to baskets. Great job by South Carolina. Pow's been all over the court. I mean, block shots, steals, assists, scoring. Just done a terrific job here in the first half.
Vanderbilt trying to settle down a little bit. Blake, step back, Jay. Fulwiley, extra pass. Hall in the corner. Pierre tried to save it and did. Blake's, and then that's going to be a foul on Te-Hina Pow. That's going to be her first and the team's second here. So 30-19, South Carolina's lead is at 11. 4:55 to go until the half. Really good one here in Nashville. It is almost March, Drew Maddox. We're getting close here. Second to last weekend in the SEC. And, well, Fulwiley and Pow, they're doing what they do. They're outscoring the Doors right now 20-19 by themselves.
Yeah, look how efficient, too. 7 of 10. Fulwiley is 4 for 4. Both of them have knocked down a three-point shot. Haven't missed a free throw as well. But I love the way that they impact every statistical category. Obviously, we're highlighting the scoring here at 20 points, how efficient they are from the field, but it's their assists, it's their force they play with, it's their energy, the way they create steals and turnovers. They're just a positive energy source for their team. It's really beautiful to watch.
30-19, just under 5 to go. But yeah, you talked about it with South Carolina. We talked about their bench points earlier. They have such great depth. But also, too, they're 18.2 fast break points per game. That ranks 4th in the country. And then they've stepped it up come SEC play at 19.5. So even after a made bucket, you don't have a lot of time to breathe.
No doubt. They play very fast, very quick. And they have 8 players that average between 13.2 points per game and 6.7. So to your point, Alex, just tremendous balance as well.
Vanderbilt right now, 8 of 24, 33% from the floor. Good three-point efficiency, 2 of 4. Of course, Blake's is a perfect 2 of 2, and another turnover for Vanderbilt. Then Kitts saved it right to Oliver, who kicked it on the dribble, and then a foul on Fulwiley. Don Staley cannot believe it there, and neither can number 12.
Yeah, look how mad Coach Staley. Probably a rightful argument there. She looked like she stayed vertical.
Mitchell back in. Maddie Green, step back 3 is denied by Edwards. How about the length from number 8? And now there's a mismatch. Pow recognizes it. Doors trying to help. Edwards, her own miss. Offensive rebound.
What a
Fulwiley for 3. No good. Edwards, another offensive board.
That's 6 offensive rebounds for Edwards.
And then Fulwiley hits the deck. Thought there was a foul here. No call. Listen, she'll take the 2, but I think she might have gotten bumped there.
Incredible work from Edwards. 6 offensive rebounds. We saw 2 on that possession to save the possession to give Fulwiley those 2 points.
Ayanna Moore looking for her first 3. Vanderbilt now shooting under 30% here this afternoon. Kitts, she can shoot it from out there. South Carolina just 2 of 10 from downtown today. Moore, shot fake. That's going to be a reach-in foul on Edwards. So that's the fourth here on South Carolina. So the next foul, of course, whether it's shooting or on the floor, will put Vanderbilt at the free throw line. Pierre, how about that? That's not an easy shot.
No, she's so good from that depth. But to your point, Alex, moving as a right-handed shooter to your left, to have the proper footwork to get squared up and stay balanced, it's an elite level shot.
Edwards, and again, same play, but Edwards missed the bunny. Somehow again got her own miss twice and back to the free throw line. So some frustration here from Edwards, because she, of course, believes she should be finishing some of these shots at the rim. But how about the offensive boards? That's now 15.
She has 8 alone. 8 offensive rebounds, 13 total for this team. But Joyce Edwards, 8 offensive rebounds. Just incredible job on the glass.
So Edwards misses her first free throw. And that was her first of the day. She is 2 of 8 from the floor. She's got 4 points. But I also love, again, so crafty what Sanaya Fagan did on that play as Edwards misses both. Speaking of Fagan, she was battling for the offensive rebound, but committed the foul.
I love what you were talking about, Alex, and we've seen it. Maybe we'll catch it the next time we see it, but that post player in the middle of the lane acting like they're posting up, but they're really setting a screen for the driver to get a layup.
Well, they've already basically matched their season total today in offensive rebounds, and, you know, I want you to talk about that. I want you to talk about what it means, the pride you take when a shot goes up to try and grab that offensive board. Just talk about what that extra possession does to a team.
Yeah, because we're already seeing it now. You know, if you look at what South Carolina has done on second chance points, it's been incredible. But 28 to 13 rebounds, 13 offensive rebounds. They're only shooting 12 of 34 from the field, so 35%. So if you start to lock off some of the extra chances that they're getting at the basket, Vanderbilt would have such a better chance to cut into this margin of 11.
Leilani Kapanis, one of the 5 seniors that was honored before today's game. She goes 1 of 2 from the line, a 75% free throw shooter, but Kapanis, she doesn't get enough credit for what she has done defensively this year for this Commodore club.
I just love her energy. I've enjoyed watching her this entire season. She brings so much to this team.
Tessa Johnson, pow. Boy, I think she was looking for Dowda there. Scramble for the ball. Somehow Fulwiley couldn't even see her from our vantage point. An easy lay-in for her.
That was Edwards to Fulwiley again.
So lead back up to 12. Maddie Green, really efficient three-point shooter. Couldn't get one to go there. And then how about Maddie Green after the miss? Green going straight up, and a foul is called on Tessa Johnson.
Great job by Maddie Green not to give up. She misses the three-point shot. Getting back in transition, does a great job of getting that steal. And then I love the way she drove at the defender. Look at this, nice anticipation. Drives the basketball hard at Tessa Johnson to create that foul. Great job by Maddie Green.
So Maddie Green, sophomore out of Columbus, Ohio. We talked about it earlier this year, but she was granted an extra year of eligibility because she only played in 10 contests last season. But an empty trip at the line there, and that is where, of course, you have to get those 3 points when the clock is stopped. As Fulwiley feels like she really hasn't missed in this game. That's just her second miss of the day. But a battle for the rebound. It'll stay here with South Carolina.
She's been so good. 15 points here in the first half on 6 of 8 from the field.
Yeah, Fulwiley had 15 against Arkansas. She's already got 15 here with a little under 2 to go in this first half. Mismatch inside. Fulwiley. Good pass. That's Dowda. And Dowda is going to head to the charity stripe for 2.
What a pass from Fulwiley there to find her teammate Dowda. What a great catch, by the way, but you can see, look at the difference. Just on the offensive glass, out-rebounding Vanderbilt in its entirety. Pretty incredible what South Carolina's done on the offensive glass.
Miriam Dowda, by the way, she started her career at Arkansas. This player that's getting better and better as this season's going along. Goes 1 of 2 there, but 9 points, 8 rebounds. Also hit a 3 in that game. She's a big who can shoot it from out deep. So she gives them another piece off the bench. Blake's off the screen. Boy, that was so smooth. Rattled out, then back in.
They called that a 2-point shot. I'd like to see another look at that one, but nice use of the high ball screen moving to her left. I think we're confirming that it definitely was a 2. She was inside the line, but what a big-time shot.
Fulwiley. She's going to head to the line for 2 of her own.
Fulwiley's so effective from that left wing. We've seen several direct drives from that left 45 wing area. Drives the ball really, really hard. Does a nice job of using her body to draw the foul.
So Malaysia Fulwiley, she's been in full force here today. Left that free throw short. But she's from Columbia, right? And so she went to W.J. Keenan High School, 10 miles away from campus. And all she did in her first year was become the SEC Tournament MVP and an All-America third-team selection in year number 1, and she's followed it up with a really strong sophomore season. Green shuffled the feet.
That's one you would like to see probably Maddie Green go ahead and pull that one. I know she's 0 for 2 from the three-point line, but you would like to see that shot. Go ahead and release it. You got to trust your practice. You got to trust your confidence on that one.
So timeout taken here. That's Dawn Staley's first timeout taken with 57.9, trying to draw up a play. And well, listen, we talked about her in the open because of how efficient she's been. Such a fabulous competitor, but how about Malaysia Fulwiley throughout this game?
And watch the variety. First of all, it started here. Started with creating great energy with that anticipation and the steal. This was the very next possession. Nice drop from that left wing. That was her 7th point in a row, 3 baskets in a row after that 3-point basket, but 15 points here in the first half. Look how efficient. But it's not just the points, it's the way she impacts the game all over the court. She creates steals. She generates great plays for her teams through distributing the basketball. Great assist, but just a terrific basketball player.
So we'll see what Dawn Staley drew up here. Tessa Johnson, she'll pull it. Couldn't get it to go. Just 2 of 11 are the Gamecocks from three-point land. Blake's, oh wow, how crafty. Couldn't get it to go, but she'll be at the line for 2. And I was watching shoot-around today. She practiced that, both from the right and the left, that little scoop lay-in. And boy, couldn't quite get it there, but again, drew the foul, so shifty.
It's like almost one of her favorite shots. She does a great job of drawing the foul. We've seen so many and-one opportunities this year, but I love what you're saying there, Alex, thinking about her practicing that shot. That's not something that it just looks easy in the game. That is a rehearsed and practiced shot, many hours in the gym to master that shot.
Vanderbilt right now, a really good free throw shooting team, but just 2 of 7 today from the line. Back to a 10-point game. Listen, Vanderbilt, they're hanging tough here.
Yeah.
Despite all the offensive rebounds, they're hanging tough in this first half. There's a 3-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Pow. 5 to go. Has to make something happen. Pow. Little fadeaway. No good. Battle for the board once again. It's on the ground. Pierre, Blakes, not enough time to get one off, and that is how we end our first half here in Nashville.
Vanderbilt only down 10 points after a plus 16 rebound margin for South Carolina. They have to feel good, only down 10 going to the half.
Really good piece by our crew here at the half. Hope you stick with us on Michaela Blakes and, of course, her brother that hit 2 buzzer beaters within a day of each other. But what a first half it was. South Carolina, the number 6 team in the land, they lead by 10. 20 to go here in Nashville.
When you see the stats and you look at the way it breaks down, look at the three-point shot. Vanderbilt, I think, needs to get untracked. There, Blakes was the only person that made a three-point basket there in the first half. Maddie Green, Iona Moore need to step up and provide some production from the perimeter for this Vanderbilt team.
You know, going back to Blakes real quick, she's been terrific again today. 11 points, 4 of 8. She's 2 of 2 from 3. Also has 3 boards. Remember, she had a game-high 34 against Oklahoma in that loss. She was 7 of 12 from 3, a career high. She was fantastic in that one yet again, having a really nice afternoon against the number 6 team in the land. Let's take a look, if the season ended today, how the SEC Women's Tournament bracket would look like. Again, Texas and South Carolina, nobody knows yet, right? Final 3 games of the season. If it comes down to a tie, that would be that coin flip should be televised. I mean, it should be, right?
It reminds me of like the scene out of Friday Night Lights. Right. You remember when Billy Bob Thornton goes to the diner, and, you know, it's like everybody's watching that coin flip hit the ground, and it would be a must-watch TV segment to see that coin flip.
And that was a 3-way tie.
That was a 3-way tie.
They had 3 coins.
Right. But how about this, Alex? When you look at that bracket, the impact of Oklahoma and Texas coming into the league this year, both have been terrific. Yeah. But the play of Kentucky, I think Kentucky is one of those teams you do not want to play if you see them in your March Madness bracket.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure if you want to see any of those 16 up there. It's just such a strong league. We talk about them every single year. It just feels like it gets stronger and stronger as the years roll along. But all right, 35-25. Back to this one. Final 20 minutes. Getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Let's start with Vanderbilt here. They're down by 10. What do you think Shea Ralph was talking about in the locker room at half?
Definitely talked about block-out rebound. You got to keep South Carolina off the glass. I think number 2 is trust the shots that we get in the offense. Like, don't hesitate. We saw Maddie Green with that travel. Like, if you have a shot, it presents itself. Trust the work. Trust what we do. Trust that you're going to make the shot, and the work will come and produce and harvest for you.
And on the South Carolina side of things, again, out-rebounding Vanderbilt 31-17, 14 offensive rebounds to 3. What do you think Dawn Staley was talking about?
I think she's talking about execution from the perimeter. 2 of 11 from the three-point line. I'd like to see a few more of those shots get knocked down. Shoot with confidence, run our offense, make sure we execute on that end as well.
Pierre, little shake and bake with the right. How about that? So smooth from number 12.
It's a great start. Pierre now with 9 points, but I love seeing Pierre on that right side. She's so effective in those isolation drives.
Pow. She's going to say, listen, if you'll give me the lane, I'll take the floater. Couldn't get it. Battle for the board. Jade Waba. Saw her early in that first quarter, and now seeing her early again here in this third.
See if Moore or somebody from the perimeter can get a shot. Good steal by Kitts there.
Yeah, we saw the Pow pick earlier. That was the Pitts pick. More like a free safety. Pitts, who's playing with 2 fouls. Step back, Jay. Left it short.
Yeah, Chloe Kitts had to play with 2 fouls there in the first half. Both her and Blake's got 2 halftime with only 2 fouls.
Blake's created some space. Pierre, take the long 2. How about that? A perfect 2 for 2 to start this third quarter.
I like the point of emphasis coming out of halftime to get Pierre the basketball. We've seen it on both possessions. 4 quick points here in the second half.
Vanderbilt still going man-to-man here, and that was off of Fagan and taken away by Pierre. Blake's thinking about pushing on Pau here the other way. Somehow created, couldn't get it. Battle for the board, and they will call it last touched by number 0 on South Carolina. That's off of Pau.
Great hustle by Michaela Blakes and Pau as well. You can see this loose ball tips out. Both of them, look at that competition. And I love the official there. That was great officiating. Didn't call the foul, as you see Oliver with a great assist on Blakes. But for Pau and Blakes to chase after that basketball, that 50-50 ball, love seeing the physicality and the competition.
You know, going back to Jordan Oliver real quick, what a career she's had. Her third school, and boy, she's found a home here in Nashville. Shay Ralph was talking with me about her before the game, calling her the glue of this program. How about the block by Hall? But calling Oliver the glue of the program, that's such a high compliment.
Nothing better can be said about you. Think about that skill translating to the next phase of your life, going to a corporation, an organization, bringing that to a culture. Jordan Oliver is going to be super successful.
That foul was on Jane Waba. That is her first, team's first, and Kapanis. One transfer coming in this year, and senior that was honored, checking in for the other. Ayana Moore trying to go for the pick, got the steal. How about the little toss play to Pierre? And Pierre up and under, couldn't get it. Boy, that would have brought the house down. So South Carolina, they have yet to score here, and that is going to be Joyce Edwards. She'll have a chance to get the first points for the Gamecocks. That foul is on Camille Pierre. That is her second, team second.
See how quick that drive was. She received the basketball there, pinch post area on the elbow, turned and faced up, got downhill so quickly. As you see, Joyce Edwards already with 10 rebounds here in today's game.
Yeah, Edwards, the number 3 ranked recruit in the class of 2024, Gatorade National Player of the Year at Camden High School, about 35 miles from Columbia. But also, by the way, a really stellar soccer and volleyball player. Wow. And I asked Don Staley today, I said, hey, Coach, I said, has she showed you her soccer or volleyball skills? And she said, yeah, every time she goes up for a block and gets one.
Wow. That's impressive. A 3-sport athlete in high school and still the Gatorade Player of the Year. Incredible.
Talk about multitasking, right?
It's incredibly, I mean, just to think how talented you must be.
She's such an impressive talent, and Don Staley raved about her. Says she's so competitive, but so fun, and such a joy to be around. And speaking of Edwards, got the steal here. Didn't need that volleyball spike block. Are they going to count it? They will. They're going to say it was not on the floor. Now we'll get a discussion here. Foul on Ayana Moore, and they will count the basket.
See, first of all, it starts with South Carolina creating that turnover, but Joyce Edwards, look at that slow step. Nicely done. Step, step. Many people would probably argue that that's a travel, but in today's game, that slow, long step, lateral use of the step, that is not a travel. That is 2 steps. It looks awkward, but that is very effective from Joyce Edwards.
So just like that, the lead back up to 11. Kapanis with the flash, got it underneath, trying to create space. Pitts might have gotten a piece. It'll stay with Vanderbilt.
All right, we've seen Vanderbilt successful on underneath out of bounds plays here. This is a big one. Down 11 here in the third quarter. See if they can get Blakes or Pierre a shot.
And they got Pierre. How about the denial? That is Raven Johnson, all of 5'9", working on Camille Pierre at 6'2" with the stuff.
Great saving block. Vanderbilt looked like they got what they wanted. Pierre there for a layup on that underneath out of bounds.
Trap. Vanderbilt likes to do that, but instead they're going to call a foul. That is on Jordan Oliver.
Watch this play. Looks like Pierre's going to get up for a layup, but great block by Johnson.
Also Edwards too was right there.
Bit, yeah.
That's like a double block.
That's like being at the net of a volleyball game.
Right,
you know, both players going up to get that block.
Absolutely. And you get a lot of combo blocks in volleyball. Another offensive rebound. Pow trying to get into the mix here in the second half. Let's see who the foul is on. That's on Michaela Blake, so that's number 3 on her. Again, she picked up 2 pretty early in that first quarter. Shea Ralph stuck with her. Just picked up her 3rd with 6:11 to go here in this 3rd quarter.
Think about this. Once again, all of that came after another offensive rebound. Edwards now up to 11, 9 offensive.
Oh, in case you're just joining us, 41-29. Vanderbilt cut it to 6 a moment ago, but South Carolina, the battle on the boards, that is the difference in this game right now. Because you look at the field goal percentage, 33% for South Carolina, 33% for Vanderbilt, but out-rebounding Vanderbilt 35-1 is the number 6 team in the land, and then 15-5 on the offensive glass.
Incredible.
Pierre again, and that was Edwards. Talking about the volleyball superstar in high school. That is her 3rd block of the game. Pissot to the left, punched out to Pitts.
Pissot, her first action.
How about Edwards running the floor and Pow with the find. Timeout, Shea Ralph, 43-29. Vanderbilt trying to stop the momentum here. How about Pow to Edwards? Edwards over Pissot. 14-point game, 5:35 to go in the 3rd. 43-29. South Carolina on an 8-0 run. Doors cut it to 6, back up to 14 for the number 6 team in the country. Listen, we know, Drew Maddox, about the national championships, the Final Four appearances for Don Staley's squad. But how about this stat I picked up in the game notes by Diana Koval, the SID for South Carolina, who's been the right-hand woman with Don Staley in their 17 seasons together. How about this one? South Carolina, they've been ranked in the AP Top 25 every single week since December 10th of 2012. That's 4,458 days, 12 years, 2 months, 13 days. The last time that South Carolina, Drew, was not ranked in the top 25, the New York Giants defeated the New England Patriots for the 2nd time. The Minnesota Lynx were WNBA champs. Tina Charles was the MVP. The Walking Dead was smashing records. And get a load of this one. The Encyclopedia Britannica broke away from print editions of the encyclopedia and moved to fully digital. One of the biggest and most shocking announcements of all time. That was back on December 2nd of 2012.
Wow. Well done, Alex Gold. Well done. That's fantastic. All that to say, you're talking about world-class success. I mean, at the highest level, what Dawn Staley has done with this basketball program is astounding. And it should be pointed out that the success that she has, yes, it goes back to all of that you said. Well done, my friend, through your research.
Well, and again, a big shout out to Diana Koval and just picking up the AP Top 25 nugget. And I said, you know, let's see what was happening. Can you believe 2012 was 13 years ago, Drew? That was another thing I was looking at. I said, come on. 13 years ago.
13 years. Where were you 13 years ago? You know, you start to think about that.
Yeah,
that's a long time ago, but it's not that long of ago.
I was a freshman in college. Now you know how old I am. Another offensive rebound, and Edwards cleans it home. The lead, the largest of the day for South Carolina. It's up to 16, and again, second chance opportunities.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, 0 points the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds. South Carolina with a 10-0 run here.
What do you want to see here offensively after this foul? That's going to be on Pitts. Or Kitts, excuse me. That's going to be her 3rd. So Kitts picks up the 3rd. 45-29, 4:23 to go here. Vanderbilt trying to find some answers when we come back. I mean, what more can we say about the freshman out of Camden, South Carolina? Joyce Edwards has been everywhere today.
Yeah, averaging 13.2 points per game coming into this game, but she has made her presence felt. 13 points already in today's game, but 12 rebounds. How about this? 10 of those 12 on the offensive glass. But I really love watching her play. She runs the court so quickly. Her presence is big in the post. She disrupts a lot of the shot attempts of the Commodores, but you can see already her third double-double of the season, and we still have a quarter and a half left to play.
What answer does Vanderbilt have? You see Don Staley, and listen, Vanderbilt gave them a fight in the first half, and then for the first 2 or 3 minutes, they punched first. But again, South Carolina, they're able to withstand and counter-punch back. Now back up by 16. Shea Ralph, what do you think she's setting up here offensively?
We got to get Blake's a touch. Still hasn't scored here in the third quarter. Saw that screen the screener play that we saw in the first quarter where Blake's had her first basket. But I think Anna Moore's got to get going. Pierre and Blake's got to be aggressive. But I like seeing that for Moore. Has 0 points in today's game, only 3 shot attempts. So I like right there. She drove the basketball with a lot more force, a lot of confidence, like she was not going to be denied, and did a good job of drawing that foul.
So the foul on Edwards, that is her second, team second. And for Ayanna Moore, one of the best to ever put on a Commodore uni. Senior out of Milwaukee, does have 1 year of eligibility left if she wants to use it. But she has been an amazing competitor, and that's another player that Shea Ralph highlighted during shoot-around as Kapanis almost tied up the ball there to get it back, but said, Ayanna Moore, right? Ayanna Moore was here right as Shea Ralph was coming in, and those two together have really helped build something. Edwards got bumped.
Edwards, great patience right here in the post. Nice little post feed there, but going against Pierre, maybe got away with a little bit of a hook right there, using that elbow, but nevertheless, a great job creating that foul. Back to the free throw line. Terrific free throw shooter too, 76% on the year. Once again, we're talking about one of the best free throw shooting teams in all of America. This team makes free throws. They get fouled a lot, and they convert when they go.
Ayanna Mitchell checking back in for Vanderbilt. Yeah, going off of your point, Drew, 76.5% as a team. That is as a team, and that's well on pace for the program record of 73% set back in the 2018-2019 season. Blake's bombs away, way deep three that time. And again, she just hasn't gotten a lot of space as Pierre went up with it. And that is going to be initially called a double dribble, and of course changed to a travel.
It's a great rebound by Pierre. She went up and got that rebound. I couldn't tell what happened to create that double dribble, but it looked like maybe she jumped up in the air and then tried to
with
dribble.
The ball.
Okay, yeah.
Fulwiley shake and bake. Tried to use some English there. Fulwiley got it back and put it back in.
Just imposing their will. Vanderbilt now up to 0 field goals over a 5-minute period, and South Carolina continues to stretch out this lead.
And that's just what South Carolina's swarming defense does to opposing teams. You see it here again. Flanagan into Maddie McDaniel in for the first time, and the freshman out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, the Bishop McNamara graduate, gets her first 2 of the game. Had 2 against Arkansas in the win on Thursday. Mitchell missed everything. Blake's was there for the board. That foul is on Fulwiley. That is her third, team's third.
That was an impressive finish by McDaniel, was it not? In transition on the left side of the floor, running the floor and finished with her inside hand. Extremely athletic finish.
She's just another piece to this puzzle, but for Michaela Blakes, named SEC Co-Player and SEC Freshman of the Week for a Vandy record 7th time. She became the first player since somebody named Candace Parker, how about that,
wow,
to be named the SEC Freshman and Player of the Week in the same week. That was back in 2006. And of course, we know what Candace did in her career, both collegiately and professionally. Not one, but 2 50-point performances. Forget 50, how about 53 and 55, broke the SEC record, and of course the most ever by a freshman at the D1 level.
Look at that pass on cue.
Good find, and Mitchell maybe should have went up right away. Got her own miss, Ayanna Mitchell. Kapanis battling. It's on the ground. There's a huddle for the ball, and Kapanis, who saved it, somehow got it back.
Kapanis is so fun to watch. She brings such great energy to the game. She always is hustling. She's motored up, great effort. As we saw the save, and did not quit after the save, got back into the action, found herself under the basket. Look at that save, and then did a great job of coming back in to create another possession for the Commodores.
By the way, too, going back to Blakes one more time here, she was the first player to have 2 50-plus point performances in a season since Mississippi Valley State's Patricia Hoskins did so back in 1998 and, or excuse me, 1988 and 89.
Wow. Wow. That's historical.
Yeah, that's 35-plus years.
Yeah, I mean, just it's been incredible, and we knew from early on this season how special she was, and then it went to a whole different level here in conference play. To see a freshman have that kind of impact, I mean, I was really trying to think back through even the men's and women's side. I've watched SEC basketball my whole life. I've been a fan of SEC basketball, studied it. I mean, you have to go back to like Chris Jackson. Do you remember who became Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf? I mean, that's the level of what you're talking about in terms of level of production of a young player. It's really incredible what she's done.
And Candace Parker. I mean, anytime you're in the same
royalty
sentence as Candace Parker, it's truly remarkable. And again, there's so many talented players, as Maddie Green tried to get her playing soccer here at Memorial. And it goes back to Vanderbilt here with under 2 to go in this third quarter. But there's so many talented players on the floor, freshmen through senior, graduate students. But in terms of freshman of the year, it's a fun debate, right? Fans love to debate who should win it at the end of the year. And again, they're still fighting for it, right? There's still a couple of games left, but it's just hard for us, right, to sit there and see what Michaela Blakes has done and not say she's the National Freshman of the Year.
Oh, 100%. Chance to go to the free throw line right here, which is so critical for Vanderbilt to go and convert these free throws while the clock is stopped to try to get back in this game.
I mean, take a look at that, right? It's a perfect graphic to showcase what she's done. 28 points per game in SEC play. You see the last 25 seasons. Brian Howard, by the way, was the #1 overall pick who played in Kentucky.
Simone Augustus there for LSU, who's in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So you're talking about elite level company.
And now a tie up here. And the possession arrow favors South Carolina. So it'll stay with the Gamecocks here. But you see some life here from the doors. Still a 16-point advantage for the #6 team in the land. But Vanderbilt not going away here. Tessa Johnson driving. And I believe that is #4 on Blakes. It is.
It'll be tough. Vanderbilt doing a good job of getting back into this basketball game with Blakes now with 4 fouls. Coach Ralph is going to have to make a decision to keep her in the basketball game. Great job, by the way, by Tessa Johnson to drive right at Michaela Blakes, knowing she had 3 fouls. Did a good job of drawing that 4th foul.
Tessa Johnson, just another player to talk about, but averaging over 8 points per game, and she averaged 10 points per game in that NCAA tourney run, that national championship run last year. She was just the 4th freshman in the last 25 seasons to lead her team in scoring in that national championship game. Had 19 points versus Caitlin Clark in Iowa. How about Blakes with the finish there?
Great rebound. She has 7 rebounds in this game now as well. Gonna have to be careful though with those 4 fouls.
McDaniel, Johnson just raving about her, and how about that on cue from the corner?
Beautifully done, walking the shot clock all the way down, and the drive and the kick for Johnson to hit that 3.
Shot clock is off here, so the Doors can hold for the final shot of this 3rd quarter. Lead up to 19 for South Carolina. Blakes, the scoop, no good, left some time. How about Johnson? Can she beat the buzzer? She got fouled with 2.1 to go.
Johnson having a big 3rd quarter here.
So for Leilani Kapanis, that is her 3rd foul. Going back real quick to that national championship performance by Tessa Johnson. She misses the first free throw. Her 19 points, that was a career high in the national championship game.
Talk about a moment. Beautiful.
That? Misses both free throws as Fagan couldn't save it, so there's 0.1, and I don't think that is enough time to do much of anything with. So South Carolina, their largest lead of the day, final 10 here in Nashville. How about Tessa Johnson?
Look at this nice kick out. Johnson for 3. Great way for South Carolina to end the 3rd quarter. Up 19 here in Nashville.
Well, the band, they've been rocking all season long inside Memorial. And listen, getting ready for the start of the 4th quarter here. Alex Gould, Drew Mannix, and our entire SEC Network crew. But this is such an amazing place to be at. And as a former alum yourself, how proud are you of this place? I mean, it is packed here today.
It's one of the great places to watch a college basketball game in all the country. It's an iconic venue. Special things happen in this building. I love it, particularly for women's basketball, to see the crowd here today. I love seeing the support, but I love seeing the support for Vanderbilt athletics. We saw it with the football team this year, and then here in Memorial Gym for the men's and women's programs, to see the electric environments that these 2 teams have played in front of. It's been so fun to see.
So start of the 4th quarter here. Vanderbilt trying to cut it to maybe 10 or so, Drew, at about the 5-minute mark if they can keep themselves in this game. Kapanis got some space, used the window, couldn't get it. Offensive rebound. Still working so hard, showing up and showing out as number 5. Mitchell into Oliver. Oliver with the turnaround and a really sweet move and a great interior pass there from Mitchell to Oliver.
Beautifully done, but all of that started. Kapanis got her own rebound and saved the possession to allow Vanderbilt a second chance opportunity.
Pow from deep.
Beautiful. Such a pretty stroke. Second 3-point make on the day.
That was the power. And how about picking the pocket? That's Raven Johnson. Maddie Green wasn't careful enough, and you have to be when number 25 is guarding you.
Raven Johnson, quick hands there on the dribble, but a nice finish as well.
Mitchell throws it away. Pow finds it. Edwards, too easy.
Edwards is so good in transition. You see how fast she runs from the defensive end to the offensive end. Such a great job of sprinting the floor. Great catch and finish.
Mitchell, turnaround is good. Count the bucket and one. And that is number 4 on Chloe Kitts.
Look at this shot. This is so impressive to turn back over to your left side. It's a hard shot. Great use of her pivot. Good footwork. Got back on balance. Big time shot.
Completes the three-point play as Pierre is going to check in for Mitchell. All right, some quick trivia for you.
Okay.
Obviously, we saw South Carolina's 71-game home win streak come to an end, and you just think about that, 71 straight in Columbia.
Crazy.
It was their first loss at home since December 3rd of 2020. It ended the 4th longest home win streak ever in women's Division I history. Can you name the top 3? Longest win streaks.
Okay, I don't know particular years, but I would imagine maybe the University of Tennessee is involved.
They're not in the top 3.
Okay.
They're in the top 6, but not in the top 3.
How about Baylor? Was Baylor involved? One of the Mulkey teams?
Baylor's in the top 5. You're getting closer.
I'm getting close. Okay, UConn. I can definitely say would be in there.
And it's 2 UConn teams. They won 99 straight at home as Kitts muscles up.
What a great pass.
Count the bucket. She's got a chance at a three-point play after she committed that foul on the previous defensive possession.
Watch this, Edwards. Look at that little pass. Great post up there by Chloe Kitts. Great catch and finish.
So Kitts to the line. But just to finish out this point real quick, UConn 99 straight. 99. They just missed the century mark from 2007 to 2012. And then right after that, from 2013 to 2019, they won 98 at home. And of course, Shea Ralph was on the staff for both of them. And then Stanford won 82 games. That was also ended by UConn from 2007 to 2012. So Stanford was that third team. Of course, another terrific program. But just to highlight, Don Staley, of course, was a part of the 4th longest, and it just came to an end, but super, super cool to see. And they started their own streak on Thursday. And then Shea Ralph was a part of the top 2 biggest when she was an assistant, of course, under Gina Auriemma when she came over from Connecticut.
All the intertwined storylines, so cool. What they call 3 second?
Yeah, 3 seconds.
3 second call. Yeah. That is a rarity.
So 65-44. Still time left, but South Carolina, they're looking at win number 25. Moore, right in the face of Pow. A little too strong. Pow was trying to throw it up, and a couple of bodies collide. That foul is on one number 23, committing it on the other. That's Ayanna Moore's 3rd foul.
Replacing 0, Te-Hina.
You know, for Vanderbilt, tough loss against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Right? In Oklahoma, they're so good offensively. They were electric in that game, scored over the century mark. And South Carolina, this is 2 really tough teams back-to-back. 2 top 16 teams. As Camille Pierre, by the way, just got it picked off, but that rebound gives her a double-double today. So another good effort for number 12, who has 14 points and 10 boards today. Take a look. And that's her 14th double-double of the season.
Almost averaging a double-double as well, 9 rebounds per game. As you see that easy out-of-bounds play to Kitts. Nice little toss and finish.
That was like the schoolyard play, wasn't it?
It's like make eye contact. You know, it's like the quarterback that goes up to the line of scrimmage, sees a wide receiver, and like winks at him.
Right. Pierre, but again, two really tough opponents just finishing that point. Still projected as a number 7 seed, and I truly believe you do too. This Vanderbilt team should get in to the NCAA tournament, but again, you don't want to leave it up to, you know, chance or something happens towards the end of the year with the committee, right? And so they're still fighting hard. They're still, and then too, you'd like to improve your seeding, is what Vanderbilt's trying to do. And right now, South Carolina, they're improving their lead over Vanderbilt 69-44. And we talked about it. You said like a quarterback finding a receiver.
Look at that nice little pass, touch pass. Chloe Kitts catches it in there with a nice finish. Gamecocks up big.
There is Broadway, and of course, it's always packed, but especially for the men's tournament over at Bridgestone Arena, it'll be even more packed. Coming up here again, March is around the corner. Drew Maddox, we are inside Memorial Gymnasium. South Carolina, they've taken over here in this second half.
The second half defensively have just been tremendous. Choked Vanderbilt out, not allowing Vanderbilt to run their sets. No leverage creation through any paint drives, closing down the gaps, and then tough shots that are contested, and then they rebound the heck out of the basketball. And it just has been tough for Vanderbilt. They cut it to 6 early in the third quarter. 35-29, I believe, was the score. And then since that point, have just run on a tremendous run here in the third and / fourth quarter.
Yeah, Vanderbilt outscored South Carolina 14-11 in that second quarter. And then, as you said, cut it to 6, trying to make it a game. And then South Carolina outscored Vanderbilt 21-12 in the third, and then 13-7 so far here in this fourth. Inside, good feed, and Ayanna Mitchell's had a pretty nice afternoon.
I think she has tremendous upside. Just a sophomore, really loved her improvement and development this year. Starting to see a lot of the fruit of her labor on display there with that shot.
Kitts, oh, good backdoor cut.
Wow.
How about that pass by Kitts? She was going away from the basket. Of course, Johnson was cutting to it. For Raven Johnson, she's got 4 points today. Green, she'll snipe it from the corner. Couldn't get it to go. But Fulwiley, we highlighted her in the open. She has 19 points to lead the way for South Carolina. Edwards with 17, Pow Pow with 13. And on the other side of things, Blake's has 17. Woo! As a three-ball goes, and Fulwiley has been so full of fire today, now up to 22.
That was a long, deep three-point attempt. Beautiful shot.
And trying to take it away here on the other side.
Watch this shot right here. Gets the handoff from Kitts, and without hesitation, jumps up and makes a 25-26 footer there with ease. Fulwiley's just been terrific. 22 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. 3 rebounds, multiple assists, turnovers, and steals. She's done a great job.
And if you're wondering about her career high, she's 2 points off of her career high. She had 24 against LSU last year. That was on March the 10th. And listen, Fulwiley always plays her good basketball. It feels like each and every day, but something about, February, calendar flipping to March, she really kind of flips the script even more. She's such a gamer as number 12.
In the last 5 games, increased her scoring output, increased her assists. We talked about her blocks and her steals and the impact there, but we're starting to see that trend. And then with today's game, 22 points. She scored a variety of ways. We've seen 3-point makes, mid-range, drives, finishes in transition. So getting it multiple ways to get to 22 points.
So South Carolina projected at a 1. Vanderbilt projected at a 7. Who knows? These two could meet in the SEC tournament again coming up in a couple of weeks. Could meet in the NCAA tournament deep tray. Boy, that was a heat check there from Fulwiley. She was feeling it. She was thinking career high. Now Blake's. No good. Blake's with 17, but now 5 of 14. Fulwiley ties her career high. There it is. She's got 24.
Such great control. Got downhill very quickly and then slowed herself up to have that nice finish in transition.
Fulwiley almost took it away. Fulwiley had 4 fouls, and now we'll wait and see. No, it's not going to be on her. It's going to be on Adele Tack, the redshirt freshman. Seeing her for the first time out of Grand Prairie, Texas. But Don Staley, she's got to love what she's seeing here from her South Carolina Gamecocks today. And she said so much to learn about that loss against UConn, right? Challenge the team. They did what they needed to do, of course, against Arkansas. And the same thing here today against the Doors.
See Blake's with that long finish. Does a great job of getting close to the rim and then extends with that right hand. Does a great job of drawing fouls with that as well. But I think the story of this game has been the second half defense of South Carolina and then the conversion into the offensive end. Obviously, Fulwiley, we know, with 24 points. But Edwards has been tremendous. Pow's been tremendous as well. But collectively, their team defense in the second half has just been suffocating for Vanderbilt to figure out how to get any sort of production.
Not exactly sure what's going on here. They're forcing a substitution.
Checking in at 23, Bree Hall.
Bree Hall is checking into the game for Adele Tack. And it's not like Tack fouled out. That's her 3rd foul.
I can't
Maybe
tell.
it looks like she's getting something bandaged. Maybe she had a little blood or something after that foul call. She was saying, I want to check back in.
Yeah. I don't blame her. I would have asked the same thing.
Yeah. Blake's, by the way, up to 19 points. Yet again, looking for another 20-plus point performance. She also has 7 rebounds today.
That would be her 18th time to go over 20 points.
That's pretty good, huh?
Pretty good.
Johnson. Another offensive rebound. That's been the story. That time it was Dowda. That was offensive number rebound. That was number 20. Foul called. Free throw line coming up for Hall.
Foul's on number 14, Te-Hina. That is her first. Team Staley.
So for Vanderbilt, they're going to drop to 19-9 on the season, 6-8 in conference play. And again, coming into today, they were in that 9-seeded spot, right? So that would mean they would play on day 1. We showed you the bracket earlier. Again, if the season ended today, they would play Arkansas, and then it would be a second battle between them and Tennessee in the second round.
Ooh. How fun would that matchup be?
And again, still 2 more games left for both of these schools before the SEC tournament starts. I'm just trying to check in to see. So Tennessee did wind up winning that game against Florida. It was a tough one. They were down right around halftime, but won 86-78. And so that's a big result because now Tennessee is 2 games up in the standings on Vanderbilt. Michaela Blake's with a nice ovation here. Another wonderful performance for number 1. I know she's frustrated because of the result for this team, but 19 points here this afternoon.
Impressed by South Carolina. I've watched them multiple times on television, but sitting here courtside, seeing their length, their physicality, how good they are collectively, defensively. We know they're going to believe they can win every single game, but awfully impressive to watch them here at courtside and to see the way that they can impose their will on their opponents.
And their 3 losses this year, by the way, you talked about that tough schedule, and how about that? Another wonderful inbound play. And that, by the way, that was Tack, who got that bandage on her leg and said, come on, coach, put me back in here. And that's a nice
Gets in the scoring column.
But there are 3 losses for South Carolina this year. They've been tested: UConn, Texas, and UCLA. That was back in November in Los Angeles. So they've played some really tough competition. And you just got to think, right? I know Don Staley would say the same. It gets them ready come tournament time. When you go to UCLA and you take on a really gritty UCLA group, right? They're in the top 3 in the country this year. And then, of course, you go to Austin to take on Texas. That's a part of SEC play, right?
Yep.
But scheduling UConn.
Yep. Yeah, non-conference game in the middle of the conference season. I love it. Don Staley has just built a world-class organization there in Columbia.
So final 40 seconds of this one. It's been fun, partners. 79-52. Our player of the game, by the way, will be, and how about that, from McDaniel. That is Maddie McDaniel flexing a little bit. And 1 finish. She's got a chance at a 3-point play.
Great job of using that high ball screen. We've been talking about Blake's with that one-handed finish. Look at that. Never touched the basketball with her left hand. From the dribble to the finish with a one-hand finish. Really, really well done.
Our player of the game will be Malaysia Fulwiley, the sophomore, the hometown kid. So we will get the chance to talk to her. Tied her career high today. She was excellent. And so was the rest of this South Carolina club. Likely the final free throws of the game. This is coming up here for Maddie Green, and Maddie Green has yet to score here today. So trying to get in the point column. But South Carolina to 25-3. They'll improve to 13-1. Improve to 7-2 on the road. Vanderbilt 19-9, 6-8, and then drop to 12-4 here at home. Vanderbilt, Drew, they cut it to 6 to start that 3rd quarter. They gave it a really good push and run, but this is what South Carolina and Don Staley basketball is all about.
Yeah, when you see the rebound margin, the way that they helped Vanderbilt to 30% from the field, just a tremendous defensive effort. And they're physical, they're big, they're well coached, well schooled, and awfully impressive.
So we'll take a look here at the bracketology again before one of the superstars for South Carolina, Malaysia Fulwiley, comes over and chats with Drew and I. We're taking a look here again. Texas and South Carolina, it's a tie at the top of the kingdom in the SEC between those two, and then Vanderbilt, they're projected as a 7. Of course, we'll see if that changes. It really shouldn't after this game, but we'll see what Charlie Cream is looking at. It all depends, Drew, on what's going on, not just in the SEC, but around the country.
That's exactly right. You got to start paying attention to all the other conferences, all the at-large bubble teams as well, and it's that time of year, partner, that you start to look at how other teams are doing. What are their resumes? What are their quality wins?
Well, we talked about it. Malaysia Fulwiley, she was full of fire today, Drew, and she was phenomenal. Tied her season high 24.
You can see it started right there with that steal and finish. The very next play, a nice drive. The very next play, 7 straight points. You saw that 3-point make, and I love that one in the second half, that deep bomb that she made, and just continued to play with great pace, great force, 24 points, terrific game. Talk about just the way that you felt coming into this game. You played with such confidence today. Talk about what you wanted to bring to this game today.
You know, Coach asked us what we were great at this week, and I said transition and scoring, so I felt like I had to bring my A game this game. I kind of lacked confidence this season, but I feel like it came at the right time, and I just came out there like no one could guard me, and it showed. So.
I love it. I love that smile, too.
Thank you.
You grew up in Columbia, right? Went to high school 10 miles away. Just talk about what it means to put on this uniform.
It means a lot to me, but not only me, but my family. I feel like my mom, she sacrificed a lot. My family sacrificed a lot for me to be able to just attend the University of South Carolina. So every time I step on the court, I just feel like I'm doing it for my family and for the 803. I feel like I carry a lot of weight on my shoulders, and I do it well, and I feel like I'm just doing great, and I just got to keep going.
You do it so beautifully, by the way.
Thank you.
It's so fun to watch you play.
Thank you.
Talk about you guys coming off that UConn game. Obviously, the last two games, the last game there, you guys just played so great at home, and then coming into Nashville. What did you learn from that UConn game that now you've been able to put into the last two games?
That we're never too good to learn from our mistakes. I feel like we were winning a lot, so we wasn't really learning from like losses, but that loss really helped us learn and really showed us where we needed to grow at and how we needed to come together as a team and just play for each other, not just play for people in the fans or and all the fans or the crowd, just playing for each other. And I feel like we did that, and we locked into doing that, and everyone just understands the assignment, and everyone's on the same page now. So I'm scared for all our opponents.
Well, they should be.
They should be scared.
You know, and then we noticed you come in with Joyce Edwards, right? You guys come in together. Just talk about your guys' relationship, what she means to this program.
Joyce, I mean, she's a dog. I kind of feel like we got the same story a little bit. She's from Camden, South Carolina. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. So I just have a different type of love for Joyce. She's a go-getter, man. She just makes me so excited by the way she just scores like so easily. She hypes me up. She motivates me to want to be better. So shout out to Joyce, man. I appreciate Joyce a lot because we played against each other for like years. So like just to finally play on her team or like finally be her teammate, it means a lot to me. And I know it means a lot to our parents. So I'm just excited that both of us are doing our things.
You know what's fun? Winning and playing with your best pals.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah.
Hey, great job today.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
An amazing
Great
effort.
game.
One of the
Thank you.
many stars of the show for South Carolina today, a big-time win against Vanderbilt. Of course, that was Malaysia Fulwiley, full of fire here today. She was excellent, tied her career high. Drew Maddox, Alex Gould, our entire crew here today inside of Memorial. Drew, final thoughts?
Just terrific watching South Carolina here courtside. So athletic, long, defensive, tough, gritty. And this one right here, Miss Fulwiley, was terrific today.
Well, for Malaysia Fulwiley, I'm Alex Gould, Drew Maddox, and Dean McConaughey, and our entire SEC Network crew. Appreciate you joining us here at Memorial. 82-54 win for the Gamecocks. All games airing on ESPN Networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the SEC Network.